Good day, everyone. We are going to start a session. Our speaker has arrived, Professor Zakaria Fauzi Hassan. Can you just come on backstage, or can you just raise your hand that is available on right hand side of your panel so that I can allow you to speak? Hello. Okay. So we'll start the session in a while, and before that, I'll just introduce our speaker to every other who is participating in the webinar. Professor Dr. Zakaria Fauzi Hassan is a professor in National Research Center and assessor in Egyptian Accreditation Council. He is coordinator of the Global Alliance for Climate Smart Agriculture and also member of Chinese Arab Technology Transfer Center. He is the first Egyptian researcher attended of the Talented Young Scientist program in China. He got an opportunity for more than two international projects in Egypt as a principal investigator about climate change and changes issues in China and Egypt. Dr. Zakaria is professor in the Agriculture and Biological Division, National Research Center since 2013. Also, he is assessor in the Egyptian Accreditation Council. Dr. Zakaria is former president of Youth Scientific Research Association, and he attended multiple international conferences, and he published a lot of research and review articles in a lot of many international journals. Coming to Professor Dr. Zakaria Fauzi, research interests include climate change, climate smart agriculture, horticulture crops, organic agriculture crop management, soil fertility, and plant nutrition, agriculture education, land use, crop production, agricultural research, food safety, general agriculture, scientific research and technology, patent office. And his current webinar topic is the potential impact of COVID-19 on SDG2 food security. I would like to hand over the session to Professor Zakaria. Professor Zakaria, you're not audible. Can you just put on your speakers? Please make use of headphones so that we can hear you. I'm sorry, you're not audible. Yes, I can hear you now. Now again, it's not audible. Sorry, we cannot hear you. Yes. Still, your voice is not that clear. Your voice is not clear. Sorry, we cannot hear you. Uh, Participants, there is a small technical issue. He'll be back again in no time.
Hear me now?
Yes,
Okay?
we can hear you now. Yes, yes, exactly. Welcome,
That's
Professor
okay?
Zakaria, to the webinar. Yes, it's good.
Mr. Baba?
Yep, you can go ahead now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Before our speaker, Professor Zakaria Fauzi, comes for the talk, I just want to discuss few things about our company. It's we represent both Enliven Archive and Gnome publications, which are into open access and peer-reviewed journals since 2013, and we are now publishing multiple submissions in both the publications. Yes, and all the journals are international, and yeah, Professor Jakaria is one of the editorial members in our known publication journals from the Journal of Crop and Agriculture sector. I guess Professor is facing some technical issue. Yeah, let him set so that we can continue with the webinar successfully. This audio system is muted. Professor, please go ahead with your talk.
Mr. Bafan,
Yes, we can hear you now.
can I start?
Yes, sure.
Hmm?
Yes,
Can I start?
yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank our organization coordinator. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this mistake.
Thank you. Please go ahead with your session.
Above all, I would like to thank our organization and coordinator about this webinar, and thanks all participants for the webinar, and thanks Mr. Bavan for inviting me. Actually, it is a good opportunity to talk something about potential impact of uh, coronavirus disease 19 on sustainable developing goals. The second, uh,
Yes,
okay, go ahead. The second sustainable development goal is no hunger. The first is no poverty. The third is good health and well-being. So actually, when the start for the coronavirus disease in Wuhan, in China, in November 2019, indeed, a spread for this virus for worldwide in the developing countries and developed countries at the same time, and it is the outbreak in China and pandemic in worldwide, especially in United States of America.
there is a technical issue again. Our Professor has gone offline. Hopefully, he'll be back soon.
economy, and others.
Our professor want to speak on COVID-19.
Actually,
Yeah.
many international organizations focus about what about the impact and the potential impact and the future impact of coronavirus disease 19 on the agriculture sector and food security. Look like Organization of Food and Agriculture of the United Nations. Second is World Food Development. Actually, many reports worldwide talk about the potential impact of coronavirus disease because the spread of this virus. So some countries close the border between to another. So it is serious problem to the movement for export and import cassava and others. When we talk for the current situation for uh, agriculture sector and food security worldwide, before the spread for COVID-19, 800 million people worldwide at the stress of food security and malnutrition, especially in the developing countries in Asia continent, Africa. And as we know, we remember for the food crisis before the COVID-19 in 2007 and 2008. This is food crisis in the worldwide. So should be focused about how to mitigation and adaptation about coronavirus disease nowadays and in the near future. Should be the master create a master plan for short, medium, and long term for this crisis. For the, I think this repeat my talk. I can continue or stay to hear this.
Yes, Professor, you can go ahead. Do you want to share your screen?
Mr. Bavin, Can I
Yes,
continue?
yes, yes. Go ahead. You can go ahead. You can continue. There is a lot of technical issue going on with our speaker, so probably his internet connection is not supporting him. Hopefully, he'll be back and he'll continue his session because it's a very important session that he wants to speak on the potential impact of COVID-19 on Sdg2 food security, which is very essential now because after outbreak, we don't know how about the food security will be. And yeah, we just want to look around because he want to give a worldwide compensation or a composition of this SDG2 food security after this outbreak. So let us actually look into his particular, data and his research. But yeah, he should be back soon. Meanwhile, I also want to discuss about his few more achievements. He was
But
attended.
I would like to
Yeah,
continue.
yeah, sure.
Should be asked some questions, some important questions about this issue. Question number one: will COVID-19 impact on global food security? Second is whose food security and livelihood are most at risk due to the pandemic of COVID-19? Third question is what are the rules of the international
The speaker is raising few queries and he
the
wants to
risks
answer those
of
queries also.
the pandemic of COVID-19 on food security and nutrition worldwide? When we talk and answers these questions should be start from the current situation, sufficient from food, especially in children in the school. Discover 30 million children in schools, but unfortunately, after spread for the COVID-19, it is not suitable to do that. So should be create a new solution to solve this problem, especially in children in developing countries for Caribbean, South America, Africa, Asia, and many other countries for the worldwide. Second, indeed, the World Organization for World to continue work to cover the food for poorest peoples in the worldwide, especially in Asia and African countries. So nowadays and in the future should be cooperation and cooperation between government for stresses or this crisis, more than 800 million under stress of food security worldwide. So when we talk about the section number one, will COVID-19 have a negative?
Professor Zakaria, can you just put off your video and just deliver your speech because our internet is not supporting both video and audio?
For fisher, for aquaculture, and in the Africa, cassava and wheat. The problem nowadays is
Professor
a
Zakaria,
start
I'm
of
sorry to interrupt
cultivation
you.
of some strategic crops uh, in China, India, and some other countries worldwide. So, because this is the current situation for many countries and close the borders and stay at home, stay at home and work at home, it is suitable, available for some work. I can do that for my some research work to write the manuscript, scientific manuscript. I can do that via internet at home, work at home. But what about the farmers? What about the fishermen? What about the all labor for the agriculture sector? Should be go to the field, should be uh, go to the earth. So it is not suitable to do encourage and save for laborers for the agriculture sector to do the work in the field at the time because if delay the soy rice and some other strategic crops look like maize, it is not suitable to get a big yield or a normal yield. So for this case, if the total yield for this strategic crop is lower, will be lower than the optimal total yield for the previous time. So the price go up. So it is also not suitable to get this product in the market. This is second problem. So the government to get food, especially in the current situation, many people on the worldwide under stressful malnutrition. So after this spread crisis, the big meeting in the Food and Agriculture Organization for the United Nations how to uh, focus and how to encourage for help the poorest people, especially in the developing countries for Asia, Africa, Latin America, and some other developing countries. For this up-to-date it is a special report for the country because as we know the uh, crisis or after Ebola virus disease uh, in the range from start from 2014 to 2016. In the time, the people in Sierra Leone today, nowadays, and in the future should be open our mind or our eyes now to help poorest people in the developing countries or people as a whole. So we can talk about how well the pandemic affects food demand. Uh, Actually, the current situation for the pandemic of COVID-19, it is it is not appear, but after not more than 2 or 3 months, maybe shortage for availability in market number one, and another thing and another important thing is if food is available in the market, what about the price of this food? Maybe availability in the market, but not availability to get or to pay this food, especially in the poorest people. What is the pandemic impact of the global economy? Actually, when we talk in this issue, as we know nowadays, the price of petrol, of oil, gases, of other things, it is decreased day by day. Actually, in the first point, it is good. Actually, for the short or long time, it is not good because uh, no machines work now, no vehicles or cars in the street, and so the price decrease day by day. But maybe in the near future, it is also very crisis problem in the economic in both developed and developing countries in the same time. In short, medium and long terms as a whole. So should be continue discuss about how to refresh, how to return for the growth economy. Actually, for worldwide, China is the second largest economy for the many sectors. But unfortunately, after the crisis for COVID-19, the economy decreased, not in agriculture sector only, but as a whole. Uh, by the way, the impact of COVID-19 for the environment sector, we appear it is good uh, for environment issues as a whole because no more carbon dioxide, no more emissions for carbon dioxide, methane, and other gases. So it is good because climate change nowadays and in the future play an important role for a negative effect, a negative impact for many sectors, especially in the agriculture. Maybe it is the good point or the light point about what?
Yes.
So the international organizations for the agriculture sector, all of them cooperation with us to how to adaptation, adaptation. Yes, okay, the adaptation and the mitigation for this crisis, and the government for all countries of the worldwide should be discussed more discuss about how to compete this COVID-19 for because COVID-19 it is not a bad effect for health sector. Actually, for direct and indirect way, it is negative impact, negative effect for the agriculture sector, economy, and other sectors. So I would like to conclusion and the recommendation because I wanted to discuss for some audience, for some participants, answer some questions for if you have to how to compete and how to mitigation and adaptation for this crisis. So uh, agriculture and biological research division in Egypt contact with other organizations in Egypt and over this Egypt to discuss about this issue. Uh, Actually, I was attend many scholarships in China in agriculture sector and climate change.
Okay. Are you done with your talk, Professor? Are you done with your talk, Professor? Professor Zakaria, are you done with your talk?
Correct, right. I agree with you for this point, and the scientific research also should be focused about that and should be create some solution to mitigations about this crisis. Scientific research in the universities and many other institutes for scientific research, especially in the agriculture sector, act and work about that. Because the main target for all countries worldwide, how to save a suitable amount of food security and food safety in the same time, especially under this crisis. Because
Great.
the world know the food crisis in 2007 and 2008, it is serious problem, and many people died for this crisis, and also many people worldwide as malnutrition for have a food enough food and safe food at the same time.
That's great. That was a nice talk, Professor Zakaria, and I do agree about your points that you have been mentioning in this particular session. I have a personal question. To
Mr. Bafan,
you. Yes,
can you hear me?
yes. Can you hear me, Professor? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Professor? Can you hear me?
If I can talk
Pardon?
about some parts for agriculture, agriculture sector consists of uh, main points for the plant production or crop health, crop production, strategic crops for the worldwide, animal wealth, uh, and fishery. All sectors affected a bad or negative impact under spread for COVID-19 in about 199 countries of the worldwide. More than 20 to 25% of total population worldwide depended on the fishery wealth. Under this crisis, many workers, many fishermen don't act, don't work, don't allow to fisher in the seas or oceans. So in the near future, maybe many peoples of the worldwide act under stress about food security. This is for the fish. Also for animal wealth, actually for feed and production of fodder for feeding animal wealth, actually under stress also. So it is global crisis. So the rich countries should be donate and donation for the international organization to help to solve this problem in near time, because day by day the stress is bigger and the challenges is bigger, because before this crisis many challenges for worldwide, challenges for food security, challenges for power, challenges for water security. This crisis, it is big danger for many countries and for many peoples of the worldwide. So for uh, some conclusion of that point should be start again to production the crops, especially for the strategic crops in in all continents in the planet: maize, rice, cassava, and other crops. And also should be uh, opening for the borders for the trade, global trade between countries. So should be returned for import and export, especially in the strategic crops between countries, especially in wheat, because in wheat and maize, rice, because it is staple food for more than 4 billion people worldwide. So it should be focused about that and should be attention, pay more attention about this issue to save the food security in this pandemic of COVID-19. I hope to hear and I hope to record my this word for this conclusion for the first part of my talk.
Yes, yes, definitely.
For any questions or any comment for the first part of my talk, I'm ready to answer or I'm ready to uh, discuss with all of you.
Okay, that's great. So, Professor Zakaria Abdalla has been done with his talk. If anyone is having any queries, they can put over in the chat or they can even raise the hand that is there in the right hand side of the panel. And meanwhile, I have a query that should be asked to Zakaria. Yeah, Professor Jakaria. So, according to your talk, it seems that the scarcity would be high, and we will be facing a problem in production of agricultural products. I agree. So, is there any, uh, uh, is there any implementation that we can do to eradicate such future problem?
Professor, of your radio and continue your speech as your internet is not supporting. For, uh,
Is there any implementation that will have
internet
to
is not allowed. No, no, no. I think it is
take at this moment
not available.
eradicate the future problem?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. In brief, I would like to talk the special and important points to decrease the challenges or the negative impact or negative effect of the pandemic of COVID-19. Number one should be by safe way to continue work again for the agriculture sector in the all countries of the worldwide and continue start to production the strategic crops because the strategic crops in China now is being for some important strategic crop. Not in China only, but in other countries worldwide. But I focus about China because China actually is about 17% production for food because the total population in China is more than 1.4 billion. Should be cooperation between agriculture, food and agriculture organization of the United Nations and the International Fund for Agriculture Development and World Food Program. Organization play an important role. All of them play an important role, but actually something separate should be cooperation with them to get a power solution for to give more production, more million for children in school. After this crisis, it is not available, not allowed to do that. So should be important point because the clothes for these schools in many countries worldwide, especially for the poorest peoples in some developing countries. So many children of the worldwide don't have this meal. So should be focused about how to allow this meal for the children in in home for these children because this is a process because these children depended on this meal just one meal for day. So if it is not allowed to do that, is for a sufficient food per day for the children. And also the scientific research be focused nowadays in the future how to improve the quality, quantity, and to cassava, winter wheat, spring wheat. So it is good solution to get more food for more people worldwide. Another thing, I would like to talk about some conflicts in the worldwide, especially in Syria, Yemen, Libya, and some other countries. Before COVID crisis, it is a problem for food safety and food security at the same time. So should be help these people in these countries to get enough food cooperation and collaboration do some part or part I think to do this uh, shortly. So the talk about potential impact of COVID-19 in health sector, agriculture sector, economy, environment. So should be play an important role under logo for one word, one dream. How to get the second important sustainable development goals, food security in all peoples in all countries worldwide.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your points.
I hope to focus this issue. I hope to talk more. I hope to discuss with you.
Thank you, Professor Zakaria, for your valuable points. I would actually thank
I hope good health
each and every other participant
and
to
enough food
participate.
for all peoples. Thank you so much for your time, and I am ready to answer any questions or any I'll talk with any comment. Once again, for the webinar, especially for the non-publisher. And thank you very much for coordinator of the webinar, Mr. Basan. Thank you so much for you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Professor Jakaria, for your valuable talk on potential impact of COVID-19 on SDG2 food security worldwide in future. And thanks for all the participants who have actually, participated for the webinar. And yeah, in this COVID, please everyone stay home, stay safe, and
Thank you so
always
much.
follow the
I don't know
instructions
stop for
given by
webinar
the
or not
government.
yet, but
Yeah.
I hope to talk something
We
for
will publish our future
this is
work of
video. Thank
impact of
you. Just
COVID-19 in worldwide. Yeah, with Professor
for
Chokaria.
talking.
I'm just concluding
Okay.
the session and I'm ending the session. Thank you.